Get ready to predict not only what card they picked, but also where it's hiding. It's completely self-working, can be performed with any shuffle deck, and looks absolutely impossible. So grab some cards, hit subscribe for more confidence building tutorials, and let's learn how it's done. Okay, so as ever, let's just kickstart by taking a look at the effect itself, a true double miracle. And we're going to start with a shuffled deck, so just hand the cards to a spectator. They can shuffle those as much as they like. They really are mixed. Now, you're going to take the deck with a view to making a prediction. Explaining that it's generally always better to have two predictions just in case you need a backup. You're just going to take a look through the deck with a view to removing two cards. So let's see, just cards that speak to you for some reason. I think maybe this card here as a first one. And so just one more. Let's see. Okay, maybe this card just here. Okay, yes, I think that looks good. And with your two prediction cards on the table, you can just place those to the side. With the prediction made, we now want the spectator to make a totally random selection. So you're now going to ask the spectator to think of a totally random number, not too small and not too big, a medium number, say in between 20 and 30, but it's a totally free choice. Not to name that number, just to think of it. Let's say in this instance they think of the number 24. You're now going to hand the spectator the deck, and you're going to turn away so that you can't see anything. And you're going to ask the spectator to silently deal the number of cards from the deck to the table corresponding to the number they're thinking of. So in this instance, they'll deal 24 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And obviously they're going to do that quietly so that you can't hear. We now want to make things as random as possible. So you're going to ask the spectator to take their chosen number and to add the two digits together in order to get a new number. So in this instance, that would be 2 add 4 gives us 6. You're now going to ask the spectator to take their dealt cards here and just to deal that many cards back onto the remainder of the deck. So in this case, 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, doing that quietly so that you can't hear. You'll now ask the spectator to take the final card dealt just here to take a look at this and to remember this as their selected card. So here we can see the 9 of clubs, and once they've remembered that, just to place it back on top of the deck. With that done, ask them to take the remaining dealt cards just here to give these cards a shuffle. They can shuffle these as much as they like, and once they're happy, to place these back on top of the deck in order to lose their card. At this point, you can now turn back around and take the deck. And you can just emphasize to the spectator that their selection is totally random. There's absolutely no way that you could know what number they've selected, which card they've selected, or the position of that card. You can also remind the spectator of your prediction cards, which have been on the table over here from the very beginning. And you can explain to the spectator that this prediction can reveal to us the exact identity of their card, both in terms of value and suit. So for the very first time, you can now ask the spectator to name their selected card. Of course, in this instance, it was the 9 of clubs. And now you can reveal that your cards over here, both in terms of value and suit, have indeed predicted the 9 of clubs. Now that's pretty impressive, but some might say that that's just luck. But now you're going to prove that it isn't. And you're going to explain that these cards here are actually a double prediction. Not only have they predicted the exact identity of the selected card, they've also predicted the exact location of the selected card. Pointing out that side by side we have a 1 and a 9, which gives us 19. That's pointing us to where we can find the selected card. So you can now take the deck and deal down to that number, the 19th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, placing the final card to the side. Reminding the spectator that they had a totally free choice of card. They could have selected any number. It was utterly random. And now you can reveal that their selected card has not only been predicted, by these two cards here, it's now also been found, because this card right here just happens to be the 9 of clubs. Okay, so let's take a look at the secret to this effect. Now, you really do start with a shuffled deck. The spectator can shuffle the cards as much as they like. It all adds to the impact. Now, you're going to take the deck with a view to removing 2 prediction cards, and here's what you do. As you take the deck, starting from the face card, the bottom card here, you're just going to spread through the cards until you get to the first 9. So here we can see the 9 of spades. And starting from this card, the 9 of spades, you're silently going to count cards until you get to 19. But along the way, you're also going to be looking for your 2 prediction cards. The first of those cards will be any 9 in the opposite colour, so we'll be looking for the 9 of hearts or the 9 of diamonds in this instance. Now actually, if you like, that can be any other 9. I just think it looks better visually later on if it's of the opposite colour. And the second of those cards will be the ace in the same suit of the 9 here, so in this instance, the ace of spades. So starting with the 9 of spades here and counting to 19, looking for our 2 prediction cards on the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now here we've come to a red 9, the first of our prediction cards. Now we're not going to count this card, we're just going to take this card and place it on the table. And then you're going to continue counting from the next card, so in this instance the 6 of diamonds here. 16, 17, 18, 19. Once you've counted to 19, just remember the final card, the 8 of diamonds here, and just separate these cards slightly from the others. And by this point, if you haven't already got both your prediction cards, you can just look through the rest of the cards in order to find them. So in this instance, I'm still looking for the second prediction card, the ace of spades. I just look through the cards and there I can find it, just there. And you can also just place that card face down on the table. With both prediction cards face down on the table, you can then just separate the cards casually at the 19th card that you counted. So remember, in this case, that was the 8 of diamonds. And then you'll just casually cut this half to the top of the deck. By the end of that, quite simply, your original 9 card, so in this instance the 9 of spades, is now the 19th card from the top of the deck, and you have 2 prediction cards on the table corresponding to both the value and the suit of that card. You're now going to ask the spectator to think of any number in between 20 and 30. They can't use the number 30 itself, so emphasise in between. Let's say in this instance they think of the number 22. With yourself looking away, you'll now ask them to deal that many cards to the table. 1, 2, 3, 21, 22. Ask them now to add the 2 digits of their number together. So in this instance, 2 add 2 equals 4, and then to take their dealt cards here and to deal that many cards back onto the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the final card dealt here will be your original 9 card that you positioned 19th from the top of the deck. Ask the spectator to take this card and to remember it. Obviously in this instance, it's the 9 of spades. Ask them to place this card back on top of the deck, and then to take their remaining dealt cards here. They can shuffle these cards as much as they like, and then to place these on top of the deck. At this point, if you like, you can perform some full shuffles or cuts of your choice, just to make it look as though things really are mixed. Taking your prediction cards, you can now ask the spectator for the very first time to name their selected card. Obviously in this instance, the 9 of spades. And now you can reveal that your first prediction card here is an exact match for the value of the card, 9. And your second prediction card here is an exact match for the suit of the card, spades, giving the 9 of spades. For the second prediction, you can just point out that the cards side by side, 1 and 9, give us 19. You can now just take the deck or hand it to the spectator and have them deal down to the 19th card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 18, 19, placing the final card to the side. And all that's left to do now is to reveal that this card here, found with the prediction that's been on the table from the very beginning, is indeed the selected card, the 9 of spades. And there you have it. Remember, each trick you learn is proof that you're capable of more than you think. So keep unlocking that potential and you'll find success in everything you set your mind to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.